This is gonna be my last video for today. I'll read you my prose poem. They're not poems, but it's like I don't know. I don't really know how to describe prose, but whatever. Yeah. So obviously, there's there's a lot of different characters in this. So like, I'll be doing different voices, and it's kind of weird. So heads up. Okay. Before my mother died, my brother and I were rarely allowed to eat sweets. Oh, we got cake on our birthdays, but mother wanted us to have pretty smiles, and pretty smiles meant no cavities. She didn't want Hansel and me to have a mouthful of fillings. Besides, our dad didn't make enough money to send us to the dentist every time we overdosed on sucrose. So, we ate healthy. When our mother died, however, our father remarried. Our new stepmother rarely gave us food at all. She made dinner all right, but that was for my father and her only. When we would tell our father that we hadn't eaten, she would call us fibbers and send us to our rooms. Father, not wanting to make waves, simply stayed out of it. Out of desperation, Hansel and I ran away. When we came to the house made of candy, we couldn't believe our luck. We ate until our teeth hurt. True, the witch was mean and locked my brother in a cage, but the way we saw it, we gave up one witch at home that wouldn't feed us anything, for one that would let us eat all the candy we wanted. As for pushing the witch into the oven, it really was an accident. I feel badly about it, but like our father always said, play with fire and you're bound to get burned. Well, he was right. The oven cooked the witch like a Thanksgiving turkey. My mother used to always say, what goes around comes around. Let me tell you, she was right. After eating cookies and candy for weeks on end, I couldn't stop eating. Eventually, I got so fat I just sat around the house all day. And when I say that I sat around the house, I mean I sat around the house. Yeah. I have tried Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, and Richard Simmons sweat into the fairy tales. But nothing seems to help. And poor Hansel, he's now diabetic and has to take insulin shots every day. You know, they say revenge is sweet, but let me tell you from experience, revenge is overrated. I'm not a prejudiced person, but after living with 7 doors for 6 months, I can't stand short people. Seriously, it was like living with 7 small children. The messes that those men could make. I should be a spokesman for a laundry detergent company. I only live with them out of necessity, of course. It wasn't like I put an ad in the Fairy Tale Times stating, beautiful single woman desires multiple roommates to be at their every beck and call. Until I was saved by the prince, the only normal-sized person was an elderly saleswoman. She came to our small cabin in the woods trying to sell me apples and lace. Honestly, to this day, I don't wear any jewelry, and I can't stand applesauce, apple dumplings, or even apple pie. My psychiatrist says I'm a classic example of post-traumatic stress syndrome. You know, all those years of being verbally abused. When the Doors would leave each morning, they'd be singing in unison. Hi ho, it's off to work we go. I thought they were calling me names. Every year my principal husband tried to coerce me into going to the circus with him, but I just can't. I have a fear of small people now, and for that reason alone, I fear we will forever remain childless. I used to love to take long walks in the forest, but not anymore. In fact, I never leave my home. Become agoraphobic. There's just way too much violence in the world today. My mother and grandmother don't understand me. They say, you're too young to be an old maid. But I say, you forgot that when I was younger, a wolf tried to eat me. And I saw a hunter shoot the wolf, cut its belly open, and Grandma Carlo covered in slime that was the color of my cape. No, thank you. I'll stay at home where it's nice and safe. Still, a girl has to eat. So, mother and grandmother come by twice a week. They bring me all sorts of treats covered in an oversized basket. Still, when I hear the doorbell ring, I always take a long look through my peephole. And if I see anyone with big teeth or big eyes staring back at me, I simply don't answer my door. Okay, so I married a prince, but that didn't work out so well. He was too weird for me. He had a fixation with feet. Frankly, it was a turnoff. Don't get me wrong, I was appreciative of everything he did for me, but let's be honest. Glass slippers? Like most women, I, of course, love shoes, but I think my fairy godmother could have been a little more practical. Talk about uncomfortable. I'm so lucky I didn't cut my foot. That, coupled with the fact that the princess wanted a permanent foot model around the house, was just way for too much for me to deal with all the time. So I left the prince. Of course, I couldn't just go back to my wicked stepmother and my two obnoxious stepsisters. I mean, those women gave a new meaning to the word domestication. So, I was a girl who needed to find her place in the world, who was repulsed by glassware, and didn't want to be chained to a chimney to do. I'll tell you what she does. She sells plastic Tupperware to the other women in the fairy tale kingdom, and makes a fortune. You probably think you know all there is to know about me. Huh? Yeah. I've heard it a million times. Goldilocks is a little blonde girl who broke into three bears' home. Goldilocks ate their food. Goldilocks broke their furniture. Goldilocks messed up their beds. Yeah? Well, I say get a life. You don't know how hard it is being a young girl in the forest. Alone, you may not know this, but there are no golden arches in the forest. So, yeah, I broke into three bears' home, and yeah, it got a lot of press, but that's just the half of it. I didn't stop there. Oh no, that's just the beginning. I broke into three pigs' home. I climbed a beanstalk and stole some gold jewelry, but that's another story. And I'd still be looking for something to take if I didn't get caught. That's right, I'm now serving a 50-year sentence in the fairy tale penitentiary. When I get out of here, I won't be Goldilocks anymore. I'll be old Greylocks. If I have one word of advice to give any of you today, it's this. Crime doesn't pay. So, the bottom line is, if you're kind to everyone, and you treat everyone the way you would want to be treated, you should, by all accounts, live happily ever